And time to talk to the doc. We do it every Tuesday morning, and it's presented by Mako's Market and Pharmacy, 240 East 3rd Street in downtown Uriksville. Come in, talk to the pharmacist at Mako's. Very knowledgeable, and they can help you with your health, making sure you stay healthy. And we say good morning to Dr. Tim McKnight. How are you?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thank you.
Good to have you in.
Oh, thanks. It's great to be here.
It's been health news everywhere, and I thought of you as soon as I hear these stories. I got a news release from the Ohio Department of Health. The flu cases have just gone through the roof here the past week. I take it that you guys are seeing at Trinity quite a few flu cases coming in as well.
Yes, we do. We see them a lot in the emergency room. We see them some in the offices. And we see a lot of the effects of the flu, which is, upper respiratory stuff, sometimes secondary pneumonias. So it's pretty prevalent, and it's, it takes time to recover from the symptoms of the flu. And we talked about this before. The most important thing is good hand washing hygiene and being careful. And the second thing is I personally feel it's really important that you boost your immune system this time of the year. And my biggest supplement that I like for that is vitamin C. About 2,000, 3,000 milligrams a day, I think can be really helpful for some of us.
And that's going to be our topic here today, talking about vitamins and supplements, but just wanted to cover some of these items that we're seeing, and that includes the flu. And I guess I didn't realize that in the story that I had from them that it's not too late to get the flu shot. I, in my mind, thought that it was something that happens early in the season and then it's over. But
I think, you're right. I think that's because we're pushing for the preventive aspect of it early in the fall before people get it. But CDC says that we can get it any time through the flu season, which I think you mentioned earlier was up until May, for most places. So it's not too late if you want the flu shot to get one.
It sounds like we're really heading into the heart of the flu season. And on top of that, the story we talked about several weeks back, it just keeps. I thought it was going to fade away, but this coronavirus, every day on the national news, we're hearing more and more cases of people dying and this spreading. So this is pretty frightening itself, this coronavirus.
It is, and I think we need to get unfortunately, used to these type of I'll call them mini epidemics. It's not a pandemic or an epidemic yet, but it is certainly catching our attention. And the reason I think we'll continue to see this in the future is just the fact that these viruses mutate and they change, and they're hard for us to chase down and identify. And a lot of this happens in the Far East where people live in close confined quarters.
Right. They have open air markets.
Sometimes their hygiene practices aren't the best.
Sure. Well, let's hope this starts turning the other direction and we hear these numbers going down. But it's been about a month now of continual growth in numbers with this coronavirus. I want to talk about vitamins and supplements as our main topic today. We're talking with Dr. Tim McKnight, Talk to the Doc. It's estimated over half of all Americans take some sort of a vitamin or supplement, and for older Americans, they say that number goes up to 70%, and they expect the global market for vitamins and supplements to hit $300 billion by 2024.
Yeah.
That is incredible. And I wanted to get your take on this because I know you are big on supplements, and we've talked about this so many times. Out of that $300 billion, I wonder how many of those vitamins and supplements are really not effective like they should be, because there are some, I don't like saying it, but there are some garbage items out there on the market.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. The quality of the supplements is always what you have to consider. I think the first thing you should do when looking at a supplement is, and the supplier of the supplement, is find out if they comply with the current good manufacturing practice requirements that the FDA sets forth. That's the one thing. So you look for that. But aside from that, I've always said don't get your supplements from discount chains because they're discounted prices for a reason.
Right.
Now, you don't need to spend a lot of money on supplements, but I think you should do your homework. And, you look for those quality supplements. And I've always felt that the health food stores tend to have better quality. And one simple test that we've talked about before is the vinegar test. You know, there was a study done several years ago looking at prenatal vitamins, and of 11 brands, 9 of those supplements did not even dissolve in the intestinal tract. They came out undigested.
That's crazy.
So the vinegar test tells us vinegar pH simulates the pH of the stomach. If you can't dissolve a supplement in an hour in a couple ounces of apple cider vinegar, it's probably not going to dissolve in your intestinal tract.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I think that's the first thing. But again, the second thing is we need to do our homework, and I would try to find a reputable supplier.
And with that being said, and I know we've mentioned these guys many times on the show, but Mako's carries, and you're real supportive, and I think you're responsible for getting this brand there. Nutriscriptive is the brand that we say just about everything I've used from them has been quality.
You know, I got to tell you, when I was first trying to find a good supplement company, I looked at all the vitamins and minerals, and I looked at the optimal doses and the formulations of how those minerals would be chelated, and I came up with what I thought was the optimal list. And when I looked at a couple of suppliers, manufacturers, I found that Nutriscriptives had a really good quality in terms of what the content. And then I talked to some of the people, and I talked to one of their lead scientists who spent his year traveling all over the country, all over the world actually, finding the best quality supplements that he could. And he did not want to introduce anything that was not high quality. So he convinced me that they spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting the best resources, the best, starting points.
That is one of the biggest things that I think I took away from Fit for Life was the supplement vitamin thing. I am, loyal to taking my daily doses of supplements, and I've worked with you alongside on what I should be taking and so forth. For most people, the deficiency of a vitamin or a supplement, do you recommend instead of buying individual items, is a multivitamin maybe the best choice for somebody?
I think a good multivitamin is a good starting point, but in my case, I know I need a supplement with B complex because I have a genetic deficiency, insufficiency of an enzyme that without B complex I can't overcome that defect. And this is something I learned about through some specialized testing a few years ago. I also learned through some specialized nutritional testing on my own cellular physiology that 60 milligrams of vitamin C, the RDA for vitamin C, is not near enough for me, that I need almost 1,000 milligrams a day.
I told you, for me, like the vitamin C, whether it's I drink orange juice or whether I take a vitamin C capsule, for whatever reason, I get kind of an upset stomach from the citrus or whatever it is. So
from the tablets or the capsule?
Well, mainly tablets, I guess.
Tablets,
Maybe I should go with a capsule.
I found that too for myself. There was a multivitamin tablet I was taking, and it bothered my stomach. I got a pretty tough stomach, but I couldn't take that one even in small doses. So Nutriscriptives has most of their supplements are in a capsule form, which I really like. I think it's tolerated better.
And again, every person has that individual need. Like you say, magnesium is one of those things that we don't realize that we're in short supply. And I got to tell you, since I've been taking magnesium, I feel a whole lot better.
Magnesium is the most common mineral deficiency. It's so good for the heart. It's so good for the musculoskeletal system. And I've mentioned this before. If you have leg cramps at night and you take 1 to 2 capsules, 250 to 500 milligrams of magnesium glycinate at bedtime, you're likely to see either resolution or improvement of those leg cramps.
Right.
It's phenomenal, and you don't get that with just any magnesium. You don't get that with magnesium oxide, which is what almost every pharmacy carries.
Right.
Yes.
Good advice. Magnesium glycinate, and again, just one of the supplements. But again, it's amazing. $300 billion industry with vitamins and supplements. Just think about when you're watching TV, how many times you see a commercial for. I know there's the one that just drives me insane, the gummy worm, where the girls are serving the mom some kind of a toast, and she says, I don't know what's in it, but thank goodness for my supplement here. And so there's a lot of money being spent on
and I think there's a message there that we're desperate to improve our health. But I always remind people, just think of that word, supplement. What does that mean?
Right.
What are we supplementing?
Right.
We're supplementing a healthy diet that nature is intended for us to eat. That comes from plant foods. That comes from what grows on the earth. But I definitely am strongly of the opinion that we need to supplement because many of us just need more than what we're getting from our food.
Good advice, as always, from Dr. Tim McKnight, Trinity Hospital, Twin City, and the folks at Mako's. I mean, they're very knowledgeable. If you have a question about, like you say, maybe it's a leg cramp or I'm not sleeping at night, melatonin, so they can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I have the greatest respect for pharmacists. I've said this before. They're just such humble people, but they're so knowledgeable. They spend a lot of time. I think pharmacy school now is a 7-year program, which that's a lot of training.
Yes,
it's a lot of chemistry. They really know what they're talking about, and I think we overlook that fact that they're an excellent resource.
Absolutely, good advice. And this is week 6 of Fit for
6,
Life.
Yes.
Topic tonight?
We're talking about how to put together a healthy eating plan to heal with food.
Great topic. And again, we'll talk again next week. But again, I want to mention, if you have questions for your pharmacist, stop in at Mako's Market and Pharmacy. They really are knowledgeable. And you can, of course, find them in downtown Uricksville at 240 East 3rd Street. You can also call them at 740-922-5400. And we thank Mako's for sponsoring Talk to the Doc. And we will talk again next week.
I will look forward to it. Thanks.
Stay healthy and stay away from that flu.
That's right. Wash your hands.
Absolutely. Wash your hands. The best advice from Dr. Tim McKnight. It's 8:46 here at Big Hits, WBTC.